Hey everybody, good evening. How's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and well, let's play some Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, shall we? So, well, our pale Draconian is chillin' in the lair. Hey Trisha, how you doing? No, you're not early, you're right on time. We're just starting up. We have cleared through layer 4, and let's just take a look at this. We need two more floors of the layer rather to be done. We've gone through dungeon 10. We haven't touched the Orcish mines, and we are working on our amazing spells. So let's look at our list. So this game, Trisha, is kind of like Caves of Cud, which you saw before. It's a roguelike. And so you start with a character. It's a classic roguelike. And you come into this dungeon and you have nothing. And it's procedurally generated random. And you have to get equipment and level up in order to beat the dungeon by getting the Orb of Zot and taking it out. That's the idea, anyway. Hey, Hunting Wall, what's up? I know, I've got a little bit more free time for a couple weeks here, so I'm trying out doing a little bit more streaming. And see how it goes. It is fun, Trisha, it's cool. As you can see, with this character, we just picked up a Staff of Conjuration, which will help us with our magic. We have a +3 buckler. We have some Gloves of Strength, which, okay, fine. We have a Artifact Amulet, Ring of Dexterity, which we could do much better on, and a Ring of Protection from Fire, which honestly we could do better. But we've been doing great casting our spells. Hey, Cassiopeia, how you doing? Kaiten, what's up, my friend? Here we are, that's right. You got that right, Trisha. I do need some armor. Hey, Seba, good evening. How you doing? You are early. So early. We're able to cast Orb of Destruction, which is a 7th level spell, and only a 10% fail rate. The armor that I have, Trisha, is my dragon scales that I just, like my hide. My skin is really strong, and so I get armor from that, and so because I have these scales, I can't actually wear any body armor, unfortunately. Hey, Bezic, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Good evening. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with some dragon scales. You're doing great, Seba, just working on your assignment? Perfect. Why don't you chill out, work on your assignment while we try to not die in Dungeon Crawl? So if I wanted to cast a spell, let me just look. I've got Lightning Spire, which is so good, Searing Ray, which is a beast, and then Lightning Bolt if I want to get real saucy. But lots of nukes. Hey, Crab, good evening. How you doing? Ah, Kaiten. Well, I'm glad that you're making... doing decent. It is such a hard game, and you just keep learning new ways to die until you figure out how to save yourself. It takes a long time. Hopefully, Kaiten, we can learn some stuff together tonight to make you do even better the next time. That's my goal, is just like each run try to do a little bit better. So I'm not going to go into the shoals right now. I have no desire to do that. I'm just going to go down to the next level of the lair and see what goes on down there. You know what I mean? 1, 2, 3. You feel an oppressive heat about you. Okay. I mean, I like Hill Orc Berserker just fine, Kaiten. I think it's super strong. I also think Hill Orc Fighter is super strong. You just need to get yourself some armor. Hill Orc is great because the aptitudes on Hill Orc are really, really good, and it can wear armor in every slot. It's So you could go Hill Orc Fighter of Okuwaru, or you could be a Hill Orc Abyssal Knight, or you could go Hill Orc Fighter, and then switch to Trog if you wanted to go Berserker, but start with that shield. It's just up to you. Now in this game, when you see it give you this yellow text and freeze when you go down to another level, you know that there's a special dungeon or something happening. Here is a fire cave, and so we're going to read a scroll of magic mapping to find it. Alright, so we have 6 scrolls of magic mapping, which is plenty. So we can map this level. Now we know where everything is. And this yellow dot right here is the entrance to the dungeon that we're looking for. You know what, Sebastian, or Seba, I'm sorry, I need to play the Escapists. I keep seeing it on sale, and I'm like so close to pulling the trigger on it. Is the Escapist fun? And is that like a multiplayer? Can you play that with just one player and have fun, or is it best to enjoy more than one player? I have to admit, I know very little about it. Alright, I'm going to go pick up this Potion of Haste, and then I'm going to go to the dungeon that I'm looking for. We're just going to try to scoot down here to this yellow dot. Okay, well, Amnesia is great. Immolation, okay, fine. The Escapist is a 4-player multi. That's what I thought. Alright, well, the Komodo Dragon is coming at us. So what I'm going to do is step, and then I'm going to cast my Lightning Spire. So I'm going to summon the Lightning Spire here, and I'm going to step over here, and then we're just going to shoot this guy with Searing Ray a bit, and he should get annihilated, and he did. And here comes the Magma Cave. I call it the Fire Cave. I'm like completely blanking. Oh, the Escapist 4 is multiplayer, but the other ones are not? Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm always looking for fun games to play. Which is ironic because I don't know about you guys, how you feel, but I feel like as a gamer, there's more games to play right now than there ever have been before, and the next day there's even more games. And so it's almost impossible to keep up, which is a good problem, but it also can be overwhelming. So I both want good games to play, and then I also both want the time to even play the games that I have and haven't played yet, if that makes sense. I'm going down. Now I don't have, I have 1 pip of resist fire, so I'm not super strong for this place, but I'm going to see what I can do, and you can always just bail if this is terrible. Oh, it's called a volcano. That's what it is. Hey, Dylan. Good evening, my friend. Dungeon crawl right now, Dylan, is starting out well. We're still alive. However, I've decided to go into a volcano. Now, I don't know if that's ever good advice or a good strategy, but that's what just happened. I'm going into a volcano, and generally the loot, the treasure that you can get in a volcano is resist fire stuff, or stuff that does fire damage, and so I don't mind finding anything, but I don't know if there's even going to be something that I can equip, considering I can't use body armor, but we can always pray, right? Hey, JR! How are you doing? Good evening, my friend. Let's make it happen. Oh my god. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. You get a bunch of treasure. Now, actually, this is pretty good. Just 2-headed ogres guarding this is very fortunate. So, I'm going to look at my spells, right? I can breathe steam if I want, which is always really good. I think I'm just going to lob an Orb of Destruction down here and see what happens. I know. Wand of Fireballs would be great, Dylan. Oh, my Orb of Destruction, that's right, you have to be... I need to get better at this. Alright, so the wall just kind of ruined me. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to go here. I'm just going to Orb of Destruction this dude. Yeah. So we just blew him up. So that guy was right in front of us. So Orb of Destruction, if you're not familiar with this spell, is a 7th level spell that does, as Mr. Snackman says, 2,000 damage, which is not accurate, but it feels like it. It does a whole bunch of damage. It's just this purple ball of death that rolls towards the enemy, and it tries to home in on them, and it goes increasingly faster as it gains momentum. It's really, really strong. JR, that sucks. I'm sorry. And it's crazy because this game is not really graphically demanding. There should be hardly any material that needs to go through. You know what I mean? It's just so weird. So Sebastian's saying that Escapist 2 will emerge for PC, and it will add multiplayer. Okay, so the first Escapists must have not had multiplayer. Cool. And so, what I did was I dropped the Orb of Destruction straight down, and it hit that guy, and you can see right here it says the Wavering Orb of Destruction hits the two-headed ogre, and it killed him. I think it actually might want more squares to power up. I think the Orb of Destruction needs to be substantial for a little bit before it gets to full power. So you kind of want to be far away when you use it, but in that case, it just killed that guy. So I'm going to try another one. I'm going to push Z, and I'm going to cast this again. And we're going to cast it on this ogre and see if it hits him. It did not. But we can move back. And then what we can do is we're going to summon a lightning spire. Oh, I don't have any magic. Oops, I forgot about that little detail. All right. Well, that's terrifying. All right, I'm out of MP. So, how do we want to deal with this ogre mage? First of all, hey, Pixel, what's up, my friend? How you doing? That was from 2016, Seba? 2016, Seba? Okay, well, yeah, I think 5 years, they probably got it figured out. Yeah, Dylan, it needs some roll distance. Exactly, my friend. You got it. Can we enslave? I'm going to check that. So first of all, let's see what I always like to do is double check what an enemy can do. So if you push X to examine and then select a target with V, you get this screen. And it tells us that he has about 55 hit points, or she, the ogre mage, that they have 55 hit points, and they can hit us for 12 with their spear, but they're not going to do that. They're going to use a spell. And here's the spells that they can use that we need to be afraid of. Primarily this. Crystal Spear is outrageously damaging, and so this would be bad. We are in range of all of their spells. They could slow us, they could confuse us at 51%, and they could paralyze us. Paralyze is probably we're dead. So we need to start doing something today. So what can we do to this? If I try to, for example, paralyze, I only have an 18% chance to paralyze, so that's bad. Do I have a blink? I don't. I also don't have a scroll of fear. Okay. So one thing I can do is breathe steam. And the reason I'm going to think about breathing steam right here is it's not going to kill this ogre mage, but it might block line of sight so that they can't cast a spell on us. So let's just try that. Alright, so unfortunately the ogre mage appears to have resisted that. So that's very bad. And to your question, Dylan, about enslavement, enslavement is a hex, and so it rolls the same resistance check as does paralysis. So if we can't paralyze, we certainly cannot enslave. So we need to figure out something else to do. Acid is fine. Lightning Rod, we could maybe win by just spamming Lightning Rod. But I think what I'm going to do here is... yeah. Let's look at what potions we have. Okay, we could turn invisible. which is actually not a bad idea. Let me see what this... Oh, okay, well, never mind. The Ogre Mage can see invisible, so turning invisible doesn't stop anything from that. Crystal Spear still doesn't kill us in one shot. It could do a ton of damage. So another idea would be to quaff a potion of haste and then to just make a run for it. Or I could... I could quaff a potion of magic. Do I have one? I don't think so. No, I don't. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to quaff... Sorry, this is a tough decision. This is a decision that if I make it badly, I could die. And this game is permadeath. So if you die, your game starts over and you lose everything. So it's a shame. Okay, Seba. I'm going to look at my potion of resistance and just make sure. Oh, wow. Interesting, JR. It's the equivalent of 5 3080s. How much does that cost? Alright, I'm going to just examine my potion of resistance really fast. And it gives you fire, cold, electricity, poison, and acid. That's not what we need. We need something that makes us strong against hexes. I think that would be vulnerability, maybe, but I don't have that. Alright. I'm just going to drink a potion of haste. And by the grace of the gods, the Ogre Mage is actually trying to hit me with that spear right now. I don't know why. But we're going to just move and go over here. Oh god, he's hasted the two-headed ogre, which is upsetting, but I'm also hasted, so I do believe that we're moving at the same speed. So this Ogre Mage has casted haste on this two-headed ogre, and that's scary, but I'm hasted, so we're kind of moving at the same speed. So I'm going to move down here, and I don't think I can actually escape without this guy getting a hit on me, but I think it's going to be the best that we can do. Let me just make sure I don't have anything else. Now that is expensive, JR. Alright, if I try to paralyze this guy, it's still only an 18% chance. No, that can't be right. Try to paralyze this dude. It's 50%. So we have a 50% chance to paralyze the two-headed ogre. What's the enslavement chance? Is it the same? 18. No, it's much harder. That's a shame. All right. So the two-headed ogre is going to probably follow us out of the volcano. Let's just pray that we don't die. All right. So we made it. The two-headed ogre is here, but it missed us twice. Wow, it's an interesting investment then, JR. You could build an empire just mining those bitcoins. Like, buy the first one, make the money back, and then buy another one, and then with the proceeds, keep buying them until you have a warehouse full of machines mining bitcoins for you. It's almost too good. All right, we're going to go this way. And luckily, the two-headed ogre did miss us, so we have a chance of surviving this. I'm just going to keep running. Unfortunately, we haven't explored this floor very much, so we're going to run into another enemy pretty soon, which is upsetting. And I might need to teleport really quickly. But teleporting is not very interesting to me right now because I haven't explored very much of this floor, so I could easily teleport into a worse situation. Okay, Seba. Well, it's great that you stopped in anyway. Yeah, like this, for example. I don't really mind. I need this. I have to go up, even though this guy's going to get hits on me. He missed me again, which is fantastic. Alright, so someday, I know, Kaitan, I'm just going to be running from this two-headed ogre until I can get enough MP to stop him. Let me see if I can actually stop him right now. I have 9. I could cast an Orb of Destruction at him, and it might very well kill him. But I could also poison... I could also Mephitic Cloud, I mean, and it's likely to confuse him. I could Fulminant Prism, actually. That might work. If I cast Fulminant Prism... No, that's not going to work. I was going to say it'll distract him, and it will, but... Oh, okay. He's no longer fast, and I'm faster than him. So, given this, go for the orb. I know, JR. Not yet, my friend. Not yet. We're not ready for that. I'm going to just throw an Orb of Destruction down at him. Okay. So, this is what the Orb of Destruction looks like. And it's rolling. And he's moving toward it. It should hit him for... almost all of his hit points. Let's see what happens. He's dead. So all of this blood that you see all over the walls and floor, that was a two-headed ogre that got hit by our Orb of Destruction. That's why Orb of Destruction is so good. However, my problem is that I need to be more mindful of the fact that I only have 27 magic points with this character, and so lobbing a spell that is 7th level is too expensive for me to do willy-nilly. In case you're not familiar with this game, spells cost the amount of magic points equivalent to their level. So basically, I'm spending 7 magic points on every Orb of Destruction, and which means, you know, I can cast 3. So... That's a good question. So you increase your magic points by raising this skill right here called spellcasting, and by leveling up. Now, Vehumit, who is my god, will give me magic points back when I kill enemies. So sometimes if you kill something with 1 Orb of Destruction, you might get a magic point back. So it does help in that way, but that's not enough to just keep spamming that particular spell. You can also get rings and equipment, JR, that give you more magic points. Alright, Seba, thank you so much for the vote of confidence, my friend. Have an excellent evening or day. I'll check you next time, Seba. Take care. Alright, we're going down, and now we can explore. So, the volcano was fun, but I mismanaged it a lot, and that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to Wand of Flame. So Wand of Flame on Electric Eel is brutal. You too, Seba. The Wand of Flame, if you're not familiar, makes a big puff of flame, but if an enemy is above water when you cast it, it creates a steam cloud when the fire hits the water, and that does even more damage. So you just do this, and boom, the electric eel is engulfed in a cloud of scalding steam, and it's dead. So that's how good that is. The Wand of Flame is pretty much not good for much else, except very early in the game. Oh, we got shafted down to the bottom floor. That's bad. Alright, we're gonna... Oh boy, this is turning out to be a thrill a minute here. The Wand of Flame is pretty much bad for everything, except early in the game. and certain situations it has pretty good range on it, but it's the perfect item to kill electric eels. And electric eels happen to be prevalent enough and damaging enough that it's valuable to have that wand just for that reason. It's the perfect solution to the problem that they present. JR, you are 100% right. This could be terrible. But what we're going to do is we're going to read a scroll of magic mapping. This will tell us what's going on. And yes, exactly. The stairs upward are these teal dots. So here's one, here's one, here's one, and here's one. And so all we need to do is make our way down here. It looks like this is an elephant vault. I could be wrong about that, but it's based on the design. This looks like an elephant vault. And so what that means, if you don't know, is that you walk through this narrow hallway into a room, and there's all these statues. Yeah, the mapping scroll is awesome, JR. It saves your life. You have to. That's why I never use them unless it's an emergency, because they're so helpful that you want to make sure you have them when you need them. In this vault, you walk through, and there's all these statues of elephants, and you think, oh, that's cool, elephant statues. But then once you get to a certain point, all of the statues come to life and become elephants, and then you're like trapped in this room or this room, and you have to fight all your way back out. So it's really scary if you're not ready for it. But the good thing about it is they only activate if you go in there. So right now they're all going to do nothing to us. It is cruel. You learn really hard, really fast, how scary those dudes are. Okay, here's the stairs up, by the way. Oh, all right. Well, this isn't my favorite, but we'll be okay. What we're going to do is cast our lightning rod, and we should be able to just stand here and have our lightning rod work a bit like this. Yeah, there we go.